Hi, this is God Lily, and this is Mother's Day. Mother's Day, May the 13th, 2012. And this is my Rocky Mountain High song, and we're going to do a Mother's Day program, mainly because there's so many mothers that has been a bad mother, and I can't say I've been perfect. So let's listen to God Lily first. I smoke and J and I feel alright. I smoke and J and I feel alright. It heals my body and it makes me high. It heals my body and it makes me high. I feel so high and so good inside. I feel so high and so good inside. I love marijuana cause it's a herb. It heals my body and it's from the earth. Buy me MJ just for me, cause knowing the truth will make you free. I love MJ, can't you see? When you smoke marijuana, see the God in me. No more depression, pain or stress. Smoke a blunt and forget the rest. Ham bone, haven't you heard? God created heaven, earth, and then the earth. Ham bone, haven't you heard? Mary J for the healing of the earth. Take one from the tree of life. Smoke one, son. That's your right. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I had a wonderful Mother's Day so far, and it has not stopped yet. Right. God willing and a Rocky Mountain High. God willing and a Rocky Mountain High. I smoke and change and I feel alright. I smoke and change and I feel alright. I don't take any pills. It heals my body and it makes me high. It heals my body and it makes me high. I feel so high and so good inside. I feel so high and so good inside. Dry bones, haven't you heard? God made earth. This is to my niece, Lanita. Thank you for living. Don't kill me. God made man to make a kill you, see. If that pill, happy Mother's Day, even if you had a shitty mother. God told me. And this is to the mothers that had shitty mothers. I'm dedicating this to you. God made me and oppose you, see. No more depression, pain or stress. Smoke one, son, and forget the rest. Ham bone, haven't you heard? God created heaven. That's why I can live. I don't have no gray hair and none of that. Because you know what? I smoke this and forget what people say about me. I forget what my family thinks. I don't even give a fuck. It's between me and God. As long as God knows my heart and my mind is pure, that's all that counts. God Lily and a Rocky Mountain High. God Lily and a Rocky Mountain High. I smoke and change and I feel alright. I smoke and change and I feel alright. Red wine. It just said red wine keep you young. This is Morgan Davis. Plumbergram. Great. I feel so high and so good inside. That's all the kind I drink. I don't like all that chemical wine. I drink Morgan Davis. I don't drink it often. I might drink one glass a night. Sometimes I might drink one glass a week. Some weeks I might not drink any at all. This is what I was drinking. This is what God Lily drinks. Morgan Davis red wine. Dry bones, haven't you heard? Got me MJ for the healing of the earth. Take one song from the tree of life. 322 say that's your right. Can't kill Adams, built his blood to the earth. But all he needed was a blunt to smoke. Dry bones, haven't you heard? Happy Mother's Day! I'm finna go to the Mother's Day party with Phoenix later. And a Rocky Mountain High in Beverly. God Lily and a Rocky Mountain High. I smoke and change. My kids took me to the mountains yesterday. I smoke and change and I feel the Swan and my grandson. My other daughter did my hair for Mother's Day. I feel blessed. One of my other daughters said when she get paid, she'll give me money. And the other one said when she get money, she'll give me money. It's okay. Those I'm alive, and they say Happy Mother's Day. My son will be here at the end of the month. That's a Mother's Day for me. It heals my body and it makes me high. It heals my body and it makes me high. So I'm celebrating Mother's Day for all the mothers. Celebrating for you, all the mothers. And
don't have a man or a honey to take you somewhere. I thought it was going to be snowing, and I was really wanting to just have me a nigga to lay up with, but since it's not really snowing, I'm just going to enjoy Mother's Day and do what I have to do. And actually, I've been enjoying Mother's Day all weekend, so. And this is God Lily. We're going to talk about mothers today. Because my niece called me, and she was very upset with her mother because her mother has her children, don't want to give them back. Because she found out that she can get food stamps for them, and she can file them on her taxes, even though she only had them for 4 months. She said she filed them for the whole year or something, messing her up. But anyway, I don't know anything really about that, except that I have found out there are so many people that have bad mothers. Actually do have bad mothers. My co-host has a bad mother. My neighbor has a bad mother. My niece has a bad mother. I forgot about it in my own family. You know, even though my mother wasn't perfect, I never considered my mother as a bad mother. I considered my mother as dumb or ignorant to reality, because she liked to live in fairy tale books, because that's what she taught me. So I thought it was just ignorance, that she didn't know any better. So I never counted her as a bad mother, because she gave us everything, took really good care of us as far as hygiene, food, shelter, that type of thing. Christmas, holidays, we had everything. And so I didn't count her as a bad mother, except that my stepfather was trying to molest us. And he actually ended up molesting his own children. So after I left home. But in those days, a lot of that happened. So I can't even fault her for that. But what I'm saying is, these girls have such bad mothers, some of them don't even want to live. What is causing that? So my only thing I could tell my niece, and that's Lanita when she called, is stay alive to get your revenge. And don't leave your children in the clutch. If you think your mother's that bad, why would you kill yourself and allow her to have your children? I mean, I raised 7 children. There were some days, every day, I thought about killing myself. 7 kids and a bad husband, you're going to go through that. But what I did think about is, if I kill myself, who's going to raise these kids? And then they're going to have a worse life than I'm having. And since I brought them here, it's my job to keep them alive now and to stay alive so that I can protect my children. And that's what this family is about, and that's what I'm trying to tell her. Strong women do that. Every woman going to go through that stage. But to think about your children and what you could do if you change your things, change your thinking. Never think it's the end of the fucking world. It's never the end of the world. So I told her stay alive and call the radio station and talk about her mama. Shit. If you got a bad mama, then let the world know you got mommy dearest. Write you a book about mommy dearest. Black people can do that too. Gosh. There's people who would love to know what black people really go through, but we don't write enough books about reality, real stuff. So we're going to write a book. All of us. We're going to write a book. We're going to tell our part of the story. So each time when you come to this part of God Lily's show, and this is going to be called always The Life and Story of God Lily, or The Life and Loves of God Lily. Because that book called The Many Shades of Grey or something like that, and this lady's imagining all this stuff, I really lived it. So and had some few men with some money too, so don't even think that it's not happening in real life. So it doesn't always have to be on a corporate level either. I mean, on a multi-million-dollar level either. That's what people got to realize. They think everything has to be on that, to be important on a multi-million-dollar level. I'll be right back. But actually, the real world, the majority of the real world is not on that level. So why not talk about the real world now? Why do we always have to have that false dream that makes the big seller? Why not tell about a real person? So that's what my book is about, real people. Real, everyday, ordinary people and how they survive. How do they think and survive? And that's God Lily's story. So I'm going to start my story. This is Mother's Day, May 13, 2012. I'm going to start this story with the very first memory that I ever could remember, and that's being in a crib in Georgetown, Illinois. I do believe. I believe that's where I was at. I'm not sure. But I was in a crib and my father came home drunk, and my mother was fighting. And that's the very first memory I have. It's being in a crib, and I wake up and I find out I'm in this world, and I'm in a crib, I'm looking around, and I hear all this ruckus and this noise, and then I'm like, Dad, where is this? And what is happening? And it's my parents fighting. Very first memory of life in this world. And then it didn't get any better from that because I had a sister, the older sister, that would. The next memory was us being thrown into a buggy, me and my little sister, into a huge buggy, and taken into the cold in the night looking for my older sister. Those are my next vivid memories of this world. I was still in buggy stage. And I used to think about how come we have to go out in this cold, and I hated that. And then my next memory was when my father came home with a bike. I guess I was about 3, and he came home with a tricycle with a chain, and I was the only kid in the neighborhood that had one. And I thought it would go so fast, so I'd get up every morning when my sister, big sister, and brother went to school and give kids a lift on the back of that tricycle and to the corner. I would pick them up on my block and take them to the corner. Hurry up and pedal back and get the next kid. And they actually would wait in line for me to do that. And I provided a service. And sometimes they would even give me a tip, like pennies and stuff, for doing it. So that was my first service, I remember, with a brand new bike with a chain. And then, and it wasn't red either, it was blue. And then, the next memory I do have is, let's see, I can't remember anything in between that, except for my sister and brother getting in trouble, my big sister being in trouble, and always running away from home. And in this white neighborhood in Georgetown, Illinois, where it was only a couple of black people, because I used to hear my mother say that. And, oh, I do have a memory of a Catholic school. I was 4 going into Catholic school because she told me to put my age up until everybody was 5 because I was big for my age and smart too. So she put me in Catholic kindergarten, and that's my next memory, and that was with God. And I remember repeating this big old huge cross with Jesus on it, his arms stretched out, and it looked so huge. It was just way, way big. And we would have to repeat this, Jesus, Jesus on the wall. Tell me, was it I see teardrops in your eyes, Lord? Did I make you cry? And one day I said it, and I just started busting out in tears, and I told Jesus I would never, ever make him cry. And that's when I first heard the voice of God. And my name was called Lily, my child. Something like Lily, my child. And that's all I heard. And then later, I got criticized by God later, but that's later on in my story. But that was my first connection with God that I can remember. When I was really little, and I had to be about 5 when we moved to the country, and I could lay down And then the clouds would form things for me, and the the angels were saying to me and saying my name. Every time I was sad, I could hear these beings saying to me, Lily, Lily, Lily. It was like an orchestra, and it would be just saying Lily over and over again. And it would just be so pretty, and it would soothe me when my sisters and brothers would upset me or somebody in the family would do something horrible to me. That's how I got soothed with these voices. And later, at times I could see them. So that was the beginning of my journey. And of course, people think you crazy when you see things or hear things, and they can tell that you probably hearing and seeing things. And that's what little God children do. The gods are going to have those type of premonitions or whatever they want to call it. I don't know what you call that, but it was natural for me. And then I found out later it wasn't so natural. And I remember my mother playing church with us so much, and we would shout, and we would have so much fun. And she took us to the zoo and the museum, and we had picnics, and we traveled, and we would go see relatives because she loved to drive. And she would stop on the road, and we'd have potato salad and fried chicken, and it would just be so good after they'd been all sealed up there. That food would be so good. The flavor would be soaked in it. And when we stop and have that, would be the best food. And we'd be going to see our cousins or something. Or my Uncle Frederick had 7 wives, and probably in all in different states. But because we would go see a wife and some children in almost every damn state I could remember, except for Colorado. I didn't get to see him when he came here and married the woman he had here, and the children I never met because he died before I moved here. But my mother was a very, very strong woman. I saw her have a shell house built, and she put the walls up herself, the drywall, and the electricity, and her own plumbing in the house herself. She got the house for $5,000, I think, the shell, and she finished everything herself. Had the inspectors come out, and she had done all that stuff right, wired it right herself. And she was a heck of a woman. Had a sunken living room herself she built. I could never be that woman. But her downfall was the love of a man. And because my mother was so deprived as a child, she had a white father, Scott Irish. Her sisters, her mother was Indian, and she came out dark, and her sisters came out light. And my grandfather was a shoemaker, and he made shoes in Chicago. And I do have the addresses. I know that my mother gave all that to me on St. Lawrence Street was one of the houses, or either the shoe shop. I have it written down. But it was a white area, and she couldn't go because she was too dark, but the sisters could go to the shoe shop, so she felt inferior. And then she got burnt from her waist to her knees down, so she could never wear shorts or any of that because it was all white and splotchy, because her flesh had fell off her bones when she was pregnant with my brother. And so she had an inferiority complex that no man would want her. So when she married my stepfather, I guess by him being a jailbird, he being desperate, he wanted her, and so he married her and then wanted to molest her girls. I don't know how she understood that or saw that, but like I told my niece last night, I always had God, angels, beings of light, call them what you want. But any day, but they talked to me and they told me what to do. So when my stepfather, when he met her, I used to tell her, he reminded me of some kind of Jap, like in them Jap movies that we used to see with it. They was the evil one with the little slanted eyes. That's how they portrayed the Japanese to us at that time. When I was a kid, the World War One or Two, whatever that was. That's all I could remember, seeing those wars on TV. So, and they were supposed to be spies and everything. So he looked like that to me. He had really slanted eyes. And I told her I didn't like his eyes as a kid when she first met him. But I didn't know it was because he was sneaky and was going to try to molest me. But children don't know those things. They just feel something. That's why I say pay attention to what your children feeling. Because I couldn't explain it to her. All I could tell her was the eyes. But it wasn't that. It was the... And she thought it was funny, but it wasn't funny to me. I was scared of him. That's what I'm trying to tell her. So I didn't like the way he looked at me. But anyway, he would pick us up and stick his fingers in our panties, under our little dresses, or through our little shorts or whatever. And however, he'll end up playing with your coochie. And I knew that wasn't right. And then he started making us take candy from his mouth, put it in his mouth first, unwrap it, put it in our mouth, and we had to take it from here, and he'd push it in with his tongue. And my mother would stay there, standing there, be seeing that, and wouldn't even stop it. And so I could never understand that. I didn't know if she was scared of him, if he had threatened her, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if she was so in love or what. Did he eat a coochie so good, or gave her so much good dick, or whatever. I didn't know. I never knew because I was a kid. But what I'm saying is, one day the Spirit told me what to do. He told me to go in that room, eat all the candy out of his drawer. He had it in his top drawer. Me and my sister eat all the candy all day long, what we wanted, and we did it. So when he came in, the damn thing was damn near empty. And then they told me when he get ready to whoop me, to take a chair and push it up to the kitchen table, so that when he get ready to whoop us, I can jump up in that chair. And he wore cataract glasses because he was blind, to knock the cataract glasses off and pop him in his cataract eye. And that's what I done. I jumped up in a chair when he come fussing, and he got up close to me. I knocked the glasses off and popped him in the eye about 10 times. And I could fight because my brother always fought me and made me chop his wood and carry his coat ever since I could remember. So, I mean, I started doing that as I can remember, and I was like 9 years old by then. So I did that. And he threatened to kill me, but he didn't touch me because he was in such shock and in such pain that he didn't touch me. But my mama sent me away to Austin, Illinois, to my sister, my big sister, where she had ran away from her husband. Because in those days, the lady had like an underground train to get women away from men that was abusing you. And I guess it was a lot of men abusing, because women would help you even if it was against their own. Because when I got down there, and I'm a little girl, and I was shocked to know it was his mother that was protecting my sister. And now she got me down there protecting me from her own son. And she was an old hoe that they all went to uh, foster care, and that's why he was in jail, because she was an old hoe that didn't even take care of her own kids, and got took them away from her. But now she was holy and sanctified, like all old women do. Once they're old hoes, they got to be holy and sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost, because they done screwed it all up. You can't live like God's and enjoy anything. You got to have everything took from you. So anyway, I was surprised to know that as a kid, that this way it worked with the women in our family. Well, probably women, period, back in those days. And so I goes down there and I stays for until I'm almost 12, and I get to come back 11 something, and I get to come back home. But that is the first chapter of my story. And in between that, there is some things that happen. Like I saw my first penis down there, my sister's boyfriend, and that'll go in the book. And the stuff that I saw while I was in Alton, Illinois, that I had to survive as a kid, living with a big sister that didn't have it all upstairs. So that's what I'm saying about mothers. This is just Mother's Day, and I'm telling a Mother's Day story. Now, me being a mother at 15, I got pregnant, and I was a mother at 15 and a half. In 16, I was pregnant with my second child, 16 and a half. And I'm saying to all the young mothers, don't give up. Don't give up on whatever you're going through, because as many times I had 7 children, I wanted to give up. Don't think I didn't. I actually wanted to give up. Sometimes I wanted to kill myself. Sometimes I wanted to kill my husband. Sometimes I wanted to kill the whole family. Just one time I was so upset I tried to drive the whole car off of the bridge with me, my husband, and the kids in it. I grabbed the whip because my husband had took me to his ex-girlfriend's house. The first woman that took his birth to see an older woman, girl, and he's still in love with her. And she married, we married. We go to play cards. I'm pregnant with the third baby. She got her shape back, and they're flirting right in front of her husband, and me. I mean, they're flirting like they want to fuck right in front of us. And I was so mad because I had 2 babies and pregnant. And on the way home, I just wanted to end it all and run the car off the bridge. But he didn't allow me to. My husband caught the wheel got it back. But women go through a lot. And when you're young, you don't understand, you go through a lot. Well, all I'm saying is that's when you go to God. And that's what I had to do. I had to get to God because I was very confused when I was young. Even though I had been in church, you're still confused. But when you really give up and give yourself to God, realize God is in you. He's looking through your eyes. He's seeing the world as you see it, so he know how you're seeing it. He's seeing, thinking as you think, so he know how you're thinking. So give it up to God, and he'll show you how to think, and he'll show you how to see. And this is God Lily. I'll be right back. And we're going to go into some more mothers. Do you have a good mother or a bad mother? That's what I want to know. Hello, Mr. Smith. How are you?